Hello and welcome back. I'm B-Ball Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Well, we decided that we don't need a loan, but do we? Let's follow this truck. Where's it going? Just getting some fuel. Yeah, fuel. Fuel is a big issue for the Republic. We don't create any, and the only way to get it that I know of is oil. And currently we don't we aren't even in range of oil. The other option is fuel refinery, biodiesel fuel refinery, which is a mod, which we're not playing with until the second city's up and running, and we're good to go. So we can't get fuel, but how does our export look? So we're in 1964. I'm going to slow this down a little bit, because we get into a point where it's just a waiting game. And look at this. There's a green number here. That is strange. But we are actually making money now. There is some gravel, and gravel is slowly increasing in speed. One of the next things will be building the power connections over here, which don't cost that much. I thought they cost more, but they're really just less than a ton of steel per switch, and then the lines, come here. The lines are also less than a ton of steel, so it's not that expensive. I haven't imported steel in a while, and we are building this. I finally broke down and decided we want an indoor pool. Why? Why do we need an indoor pool? Pretty simple. A lot of you, and I appreciate all your feedback, doesn't matter how I sound when I respond to it, but I do read them, and I do appreciate it because it usually gets me thinking about something to improve. And one of the things a lot of you said is supply meat. Meat is good, meat is important, to which I always say, no. And here's my reasoning. So if you supply meat, you get a little boost in health and a little boost in happiness. Okay, those are good things. Those are simply good things. But my happiness is already generally, I don't know why this one's unhappy. What's your problem? There's some sport. Yeah, no meat. Not sure why they're unhappy. We are at the end of winter, but as long as you keep them above 80%, you usually don't have problems for escapes because of this. And usually I have them above 80, but sport is one of the things that gets the happiness down in the winter. And I told you that a couple episodes ago. I should have just built the pool instead of the football playground. The football playground is a lot cheaper, but obviously it's not working. So, popped in a pool here. That's getting built. I still had most of the resources that you see there. What we don't have apparently is bricks. So it's tell DO to get some bricks in. To a certain amount. There's only 2 flatbed trucks here. So it shouldn't be that bad. Or it shouldn't be that expensive. We almost make... Not make, but we have some money to spend. So let's do that. And when we look around here for last year, we're actually positive for the whole year, which... I'm purposefully not buying a lot or not purchasing a lot of things that we don't need. We are purchasing fuel, and that's very expensive. That's the majority of what we buy. Fuel, almost 10,000. That's half of our income, half of our costs. A lot more coal than I expected. 270 tons to run our heating plant, which is ouch. So this is something that we should probably consider starting to produce, but that takes a lot of people. That's bad. Food? This was just from the beginning of the year before we actually produced a lot. So that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Then power. This one I'm a little surprised by, but it's okay. It's the way it is. It's right now only $1 per megawatts, but we are importing more power than I expected. But this is something I don't think we can do for a while, especially without mods. And then cement. Cement is one of the things that I actually needed more. Bitumen will probably something that we also need very soon. But last year, I didn't get many crops because this one was mostly full, and then over the winter we emptied that out, and I did make one change. As you can see here, we have 12 workers sitting here now, waiting, doing stuff. And that's because I'm using the big bus that we had running to the heating plant and switched that out with one of the 7-seaters. Simply because I often had a large number of workers waiting here, not being picked up. And then when this bus came by, the bus was full of workers, but wasn't going anywhere because there was nowhere to go for them because there was no work. So that's the one change I made. Once I have more money, I may add a second bus to bring more people here. because we are doing pretty okay with our food. Like, this number is going up pretty fast, and we are able to export now. Which brings me to the next point. This setup, mostly the farm, all the vehicles in the farm, plus the silo, which I built now because we had the resources to build it. This factory connection is still need build on. It's almost done. I'm hoping by the time we are harvesting, this will be done. It's not high priority for me at all right now. But we could have saved all of this, technically. And here was a suggestion one of you guys brought up, which I actually never tried because I avoid using workers on fields. You can totally use workers, but be aware that if you use workers, your yield on a large field, and these are the numbers I read, I haven't tested this, your yield on a large field with machines is 300 tons. Your yield with workers on a large field is 180 tons. So a lot less, but you don't need machines, you don't need the farm, you don't need anything else. They just do that, and they can harvest and seed. That's not a problem. You still need a truck, and you will need some micromanagement to send a truck to all the fields where you need, where you have crops on, but technically, I could have saved whatever the price of this one was, which I think both of these together is probably, I don't know, 150,000, which I think the silo we still need because we have to store it somewhere, but building this automatically is, only 70,000, and then all the tractors and stuff, so 100,000 for this setup. We could have probably saved. That would have been money here. Would that be worth it? Well, I would argue the way I have it set up would take a lot more people imported at the beginning to make that work. Now, I do know some people will not play with less than 1,000 citizens, which is fine. I think that's fair, but to me, that's a really large number. I want to try to be around 200. That's where I always played, and it feels like a good number to start at because it allows you to plan and be really slow in the beginning, be more methodical, which you can argue I am not really because it's not my personality, but it helps you get going. The number of citizens that I had, which was just these two buildings, half full, about 100 is not enough. You need at least 150. 200 is a better number, and if you want to do the fields with workers, I think you need at least 250, maybe even 300 to get that going. And then it may work. Then this may work, and you may be able to cut out the whole farm and this whole setup and get crops cheaper and faster, and you don't have to wait until everything is built, because for sure, I think setting up all of this took probably 2 years of in-game time, and you've seen only part of that. And using workers, you would have been able to seed and harvest the fields right away. Is that worth it? Honestly, if one of you could try that out and tell me afterwards, that would be awesome, because I am very curious about that. But we are where we are now. Money is moving up and down, and that's fine. Crops here, we still have a couple crops. Food is staying in the at least 16 tons. Otherwise, this guy's not going to go out. Oh, we are refilling the bricks right now. 41 tons, that should be enough. So let's turn this off so we can stop importing. Yeah, but it's we are doing pretty okay. And now with the workers here, when they come in, how many are you bringing? Only 2. So I've seen it much higher than that. But that's okay. On our buildings, if we look at them, overall they're doing okay. One of these is usually full, the other one is close around 70, this one's around 40, and this one has been around 6. So we are growing in population, which is what we need. We have a lot of educated people, which is perfect. That is what we need. Right now the university's turned off, but there's students walking in, they're waiting for professors. Sorry guys, nobody's going to show up there. The only reason is when I set this to not 0, it's 10, and I don't want to lose 10 workers right now. Once one other building is full, we'll probably do that. Ooh, the indoor pool's done. And this is why we don't have workers at the food factory, because it's too high. Hey, you let me go to 3. Go back to 3. Nice. I wonder. If I go really high here, can I? No, it just removes or reduces by 5. But this works. Indoor pool, 13 people. Yeah, sure, do that. Traffic jam, fire. These construction offices have had the most fire. Like both of these, they're always on fire, and it's a little ridiculous, but okay, whatever. Yeah, let's get you out of here as usual. And gravel, I don't treat gravel as the first export. You may have noticed that by the way I phrase questions and all that, but if we look at all, gravel has given us so much runway. 35,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but it would mean we wouldn't have any money right now without the gravel. So gravel is very important, and that this excavators, all or both of them, are not refueling in their quarries is a problem. And they're using some fuel, but this is just related to when power is available. And right now, apparently power is not always available, so this thing is only partially working. So that is our next task. Let's get both of these. You can do electric wiring because I don't want to click on those individually. Wow. I do hope they're all what I think they are, which I'm pretty sure they are. So let's just say that's fine. Let's assign these two to you and nothing over here. Actually, no, let's do these two. The problem is this construction office right now does not have a bus, and I don't want to add more buses right now just because of how things work. And they are working right now, and I want them to keep working. Where's our big bus? You are probably... There were 14 people, and now 3 of the minibuses came here, and this guy does not have anyone. That's okay. I will probably just artificially send him back here because he's still... He hasn't turned around yet. Might as well. If you can micromanage your game, do it. But overall, we're doing pretty fine. This truck should have another pretty full load of everything, and that's what we want to see. There are still a few crops in here, which is great. Which means even if we have this one full, we can run at pretty high capacity most of the year and still have some crops left over, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. There's some crops left over here. Everything is looking really well. But we have to fix this gravel storage so we have more supply coming in all the time, because right now, these guys aren't doing anything and they won't do something for a while. Where's the excavator? He's just here. And he's blocking traffic, and none of that is good. None of that is good at all. So, that is done. The next thing that I need to do that is also important. I feel like I talk so much, but there's so much going on. The next thing I need to do is decide if I'm okay with this. Am I okay with having no rail connection to this guy? Is that a thing I'm okay with? I think the answer is I don't really have a choice, but maybe I do. Let's try this. Electric. 1, 2. You look like you don't want to be here. Too steep. And I'm gonna go, this is not gonna cross here. Yeah. I'm gonna try one more different one, but I have a feeling this is just not gonna go anywhere. We will have to transport... the prefab just differently, and that's fine. Don't click this button, it will delete everything that's white. So yeah, I wonder, is there any other way I could, if I flip this around? Let's look at that. I would like to be able to not use a truck to make this stuff move somewhere else. That would be ideal, but if that's not a real option, and that's not a real option, and that's fine. Same with over here, the cement. If I could pick that up, and this one I may be able to put a dry bulk storage loading thing somewhere over here, and that may work. But for right now, this is what we're gonna do. Open storage, medium. If I would turn you around this way, there is a chance that we can put you here, and the factory connection on the bottom would look the same. The factory connection to the rail construction office should exist or should work. We may be able to put a rail connection in here, but then we get really cramped. But it would give us a chance to do what we need to do. Now the problem if I do that is this one could always only handle one train. But I think that's okay. Why is that okay? Oh, there's a traffic jam that I was talking about earlier. I think that's okay because the way the island, let's pull up the map, the way this peninsula part works, it's not very large. So one train should be able to like handle a lot of everything that we need. Let's use it. I think that's great. Get you out of here. Yeah, these guys can start just supplying all the stuff that we need. Um, oh, this looks great. They're doing what they're supposed to do. This one we have time on. We're not really in a hurry. Electricity problem, yeah, we'll get there eventually. This one can probably slowly turn off what it's trying to do. But I'm going to leave it because if this one is fuller at the end of the year when winter is coming, that's a good thing. That's what we want. Okay, let's... I will do myself a favor if I give myself a little better angle for the road. Will you play along? You do. Will you play along? No. And this is what I was talking about. This is the angle that matters a little bit. Okay, let's try that again. And it's totally possible that this is not an option. Not a real option, at least. Do this. Yeah, just flatten everything. Do that. Actually, it's probably better if we flatten from up here. It's not an option right now. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Do sharp return. Then make it round. 1. I need you to come out here. Doesn't really matter how you come out there, but you need to come out there. And then this one, is there even a chance? A chance at all? Do anything. It's just... we look at the topography, it's just a really steep hill that's sitting there just waiting to laugh at you and be like, haha, you can't do this. And that's what it's doing. So do we have an option here without ripping out everything that exists here? And what do I mean by everything? All I have to do is route everything after this junction intersection a little further out. And then let's see. There are connections. There are connections here that we could utilize, but it would everything would be very cramped. Prefab panels. What is your ratio? How do you build? Prefab. Yes. 65 tons of gravel to 71 tons of prefab panels. Here's the problem. Prefab panels, I would want to be able to export. To export them, because of the price, if you look at the price, you know what I mean. Prefab panels. $35 a ton. And I think a truck can only hold 12 tons of prefab panels. 13? 11. So it takes up a little more room than even steel. So they're light and big. Take up a lot of room. And they don't pay a lot. So if you run them with a truck, they give you about as much money as gravel. And it's not a good way to export low price cargo. So what you should do is use a train. And I only have 2 options there. Let's turn this off again. Only have 2 options there. Either I bring everything that I produce here that's not used by the rail construction office, or by the other construction offices, I can assign them to this, and bring it over here and pick it up from this cargo station or open storage. Is that a real option? Is that a plausible option? Can I even connect a rail here? Now that is a different type of problem. Maybe I should answer this question before I answer any of the other ones. So where can I don't think I can do that. Okay, that's fair. Can I 1, 2 back there? I think I messed up. Try again. You 1, 2. Yeah, it doesn't want to play along. This is also a very sharp turn. That's not helping. Let's try one more time. 1, 2. So what I would have to do is revamp this whole intersection to allow Oh no, this... Technically that works. Can we get this road out of here? Yes, we can. Great. And snapping up. Wow. I can't believe we can actually squeeze this in here. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but I didn't expect this. But now there's the whole option of bringing all the prefab panels down here, and this will be our import-export location for everything, and then we can use one train with state cars, and that may not be a terrible option either. I don't like that I have to use trucks to bring the prefab panels to this section, but we can play with percentages and all that, and that may make life easy enough that this doesn't really matter. Let's go back to this, what it was before. I hope we can get it in the way it was. This looks promising. Should be fine. Good. So now everything's like it was before, and nothing changed, and I know what I want to do and what I can do. Wonderful. Which brings me to the next point. We are slowly making money. Great. Yay. Money is good. The problem is we need steel. We need a lot of steel. We need a lot more steel than we can... Oh, this is done. Nice. We need a lot more steel than anything. Because everything that's white, we will require rail to actually do something effective. All of these buildings take a lot of steel to build. That one's only 21 tons. The loading station, 75 tons of steel to even be able to load gravel into anything. That is not a good investment. But we need something to happen. It looks like our pillars... Oh, most of our electricity is done. Great. So let's get this one and this one completed. This power line is done. This power line is not done yet, but I'm assuming you're assigned. Good. So yeah, do this one, this one. We don't need everything else. The small power lines are relatively cheap. I have a substation over there that is not done yet, but I really want to get this power substation done so that these two will always have power. It doesn't matter if we have to pay for it. If that means that this guy can run full throttle all the time, that is worth it. But the next thing right after this will have to be steel. We need to produce steel, and I cannot harvest, I cannot dig up any iron ore. And I'll remind you, here's our iron ore. It's not on the peninsula. The closest I can get to is over here, and that is another island. And to get to the island, I need ships. And to get ships, I need steel. So I need steel, I need a way to import it, and I need enough people to produce steel. We are going to get coal from this area. That's the way it's set up. That's the way I like it. I do still have to get the conveyor belt from up there down here to these two coal processing plants, but I don't think that will be as hard as I make it out to be. But I should probably, before I say that, just finish this up. So here we go. I love it when this goes fast. This is, yes. Just a couple straight lines, as straight as possible. What do you, no, just snap. Snap to this. Why? Oh, because I turned off snapping. Oh. Yeah, no, that makes sense. You turn off snapping, snapping doesn't work. It's not weird at all. So, conveyor engine. We are going to not use the crappy one. No, that's not what we're gonna do. This may be a chance to be like, hey, why don't you use helicopters to do this? To which I would be like, helicopters are expensive. The whole infrastructure is expensive. I cannot afford expensive anything. So this is as good as it will get. Yep, there, I saw it. 2 of these we can afford. And honestly, I'm very faithful that we are able to connect these. Come on. Come on. You're just trying to fight me. There he is. Look at that. Everything's connected. Beautiful. Beautiful. We don't actually need a gravel road here. This is totally fine just using this one. Did they change the snapping to the buildings? That's nice. I can appreciate that. Can we get over here? Too steep, too steep, too steep. Can we get over here? Nope. 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 Topography saying it's really steep. All right. That may mean we have to go on this side. That's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. We can totally manage this. Too steep again. That's okay. I know it was green, but it will be really, really, really bumpy and steep still when we build that. There you go. That one gets connected right here. That means I wanna... Don't bulldoze everything. I just want to run this road out this way. Sure, there's fine. You can go there and you can go here. Should I have run this longer? Nope. Nope, this is just fine. Wow. I think they got a couple fixes in for the terraforming. I like it. I like it a lot. Turn this one off for now. So coal. Coal is started. Not gonna call... Coal is not sorted, but it is started. And it will just get better. Let me... Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the new snapping is making this also easy. Everything is easier. You should have played this game a year ago. Things were very, very, very different and a lot more complicated. Now in this section, I may just get away with the windmills because I don't need any of this to run 100% of the time. And I explained that before. I just need it to work. You're almost done. 12,000! We're making money! We're making bank! That means this guy is actually being full a lot. How's this going? And we are running lower on crops. That is not a bad thing. That means we're actually getting through the little stockpile that we had. This field is halfway grown. And when we actually run out of crops, which we won't for a while, then we run out of crops. But for right now, we are doing just fine. And this one I had turned off to pick up crops from the warehouse over here, so let's turn that back on. How is everyone? 65, so we lost a couple people due to age. And probably some escapes. I'm okay with that. 220, that's pretty high, but this year, 20 people, 53 births. So yeah, no, we're doing fine. Everything is fine on this front. Everything is being built, or is built. I'm excited. Actually, I started this episode thinking there's no way I'm not going to take it alone just to accelerate our rail production and rail construction and everything rail related. But now look at this. We don't need it. We have coal sorted out here that can get everything done that needs to be done. I should probably... Okay. One thing that I will try out, I'm not going to build it, but one thing that I need to test is not cargo, just a regular heliport. Is there any way I can get you in here? If the answer is remove the soccer pitch, I think that is a pretty nice and good answer because we really don't need it anymore with this guy there. And this fire station should be able to cover everything over here if we can afford a helicopter anytime soon. And by the time we have this built, I would highly anticipate that we can afford a helicopter. So let's keep planning out this area. Coal is here now. This spot is a mountain, but it's relatively far away from the city, and that's what we want. And coal can be used in a lot of places. For right now, we're going to plan for brick and for steel. Let's start with steel because it takes up the most room. So we could do it way back here. Topography. I didn't expect it actually to fit anywhere up here. I want to use the buildings to flatten everything around this area because I only have one bulldozer. I'm not going to spend any more money on bulldozers until money is not a problem. So we can't flatten with the terraforming tool. We have to flatten with, I call it game cheats. Now this guy's on a little plateau. We're going to flatten all of this, and then I will try to get bricks and steel set up on here. We'll see how that goes. I decided to just flatten it. I was first starting a plateau when I said I'm going to go do stuff, but honestly, I think this will be a lot better. And the new topographical view makes it really easy. Why? How? What? Well, I was able to use the lower terrain, And let's find one that actually makes sense. There's a mountain here. Do it here. You lower the terrain, and you can follow the thick lines. The thick lines will disappear when you get to the right height. I'm trying to get to the height of this guy. So that one disappeared. Cool. Make this a little smaller. The next one disappears. Cool. It's becoming a white line. And it all stretches out. And you can see that we're already on this level over here. You just continue doing that until the level evens out everywhere. And you can do that really across anywhere. With these lines, using bulldozers to flatten out ground becomes a lot easier. And then you just use a steel mill to do the rest. And honestly, flattening this whole piece took me about 7 minutes. I think that is acceptable. Cool. Now that we figured that out, let's place them. And I want to place them in a way that I can hopefully supply workers in the same manner or in the same fashion. And then I would like to also store steel and brick in the same place. So to get workers, I'm looking at, let's go here. I'm looking at this. There is a footpath here, so I think if I put a road bus stop right here, that should be a good place. That is in range. I will put another conveyor engine here, but that's where the steel mill goes for now. And I wanted the rail to be a little more on the outside, because I do know that the brick factory does not have anything like that. So if I throw this one here, and I'm going to try to do something else first. I'm trying to angle it so that this angle of the conveyor engine and this angle of the conveyor both point in a way that I can place another conveyor engine nice in between. And I wanted to place these guys so that I can hopefully place a storage like this in between, which is always a challenge. This is always hard, but I don't think it's impossible. So I put you here. I think we can make this work. Good. This one technically works. It technically works, but the road connection that I need to put out fires here, unless I want to rely on helicopters, is right there. So I can't do this exactly. Doesn't mean this doesn't work. What I need to do is use the open storage again and angle a little more opportune. So I'm looking at this. There's the footpath here. If I can't cross the rail. I can't cross this. I think I can do something here because the footpath, don't forget, we have underground now. So underground can make this a lot easier. Let's go here. Let's turn off the topography. I'm sure that's confusing someone or aggravating someone. Well, if I put you here, yes, you connect to everything I want, but then there's no way I can get the coal connection the way I want it. This is the way I had it before, and that's not really helpful. Can I turn you around? Is that a real option? Like this. This is what we had before. Should I just use 2 conveyor engines? It's just coal. It's not really high value anything. I can't put you this way unless I go out further. And then I may be able to do this. So pull you around there. You can't connect there. That doesn't mean this doesn't connect at all. So let's try this again. Put you there. Yeah, that won't work. I would like to design this in a way that is feasible and useful, and I want a medium open storage. Unless, of course, I completely ignore the open storage because steel we're not going to produce a lot and bricks we're going to produce a lot. But I will put bricks in here to either export or use. So I don't have to directly store them, and once the bricks are full, I can just export all the coal. That is an option too. Is that the right option though? That is the question. Is that a right option or is that a wrong option? So this is the other option. Let's get the brick factory again, like we had it before. And this time, I can even probably store it or put it a little closer than what I had before. Right here looks fine. And then I have a medium storage for bricks. Sure, right here, why not? I'm looking at the rail connection that is right there. That looks good. And then I have a rail connection on the outside. That's good. Nice and close. And then I have this storage here for steel. 2 sharp return. Okay. There you go. Now everything is connected. Let's get our road connected down here. And I'm playing because we need money. Like, we can't do anything until we have some money, so let's get some money in by planning things out. I'm not even building anything right now directly, which is okay, which means I'm not using any gravel. Could I build something? Let's figure that out. The answer is probably no, because we don't have any building materials besides gravel. So what can we gravel? Aww, this makes me sad. This truck is still leaving the quarry, even though there's fuel available in the quarry. I was hoping they would just fill up in the quarry, but they don't. They are a little faster than the cranes or excavators, but not by a lot. So that just means we should gravel all the roads that they can take. As I said, we have gravel right now, so let's do that. They can just figure out where they go. And while they're at it, gravel this road too, because we're going to use that. So now they're not being lazy, and that is awesome. This guy, I'm assuming, just fits in here pretty easy. And it should be in range, walking range for everyone, and I can use nice gravel paths to get people to go there. None of that should be a real problem. This, just a normal road connection. This one can be another normal road connection, no problems. Let's get a real gravel path going right here. Yeah, sure, why not? Do this, and we don't have to connect this one because I can just go straight through there. And now, all of this is good. Gravel paths, yes, you can build them right away. These connections, they can be assigned right away, and this all looks good. The only thing we have left is connecting this side of the rail with this side of the rail. There's rail here and rail here that I would like to have on the network. In the beginning, I will only plan on bringing iron here. Oh, ooh, almost forgot. Wrong one. This one, this one. 1 to 3, yes. This is what I was hoping for. The shorter this is, the cheaper it should be. Okay. That didn't quite work. First crash of the season. Oh, you dog. At least I know what I was trying to build here. Wow. First crash of the season. Hasn't even looked like it would happen for a very long time, but we want this all to be graveled. I already know that these trucks are going to refuel at the gas station, so all of this needs to be gravel. And over here, I flattened this. Yeah. Let's do this again. I don't even know if I'm going to rewind what I just already did, but it's okay. I should just reset my saving interval to not 10 minutes and make it a little more recent. But this goes here. Brick factory will go here-ish. That's good. And then in open storage medium for bricks, can go over here. That works. The open storage for steel can go on this side. Yeah, as you can see, I did this once before. That's all this means. Get the 1 to 3 mid conveyor. This is what crashed it earlier. I think the pathfinding was just like, what are you? No, stop it. It literally said that, definitely. So that goes there, there, there. This can go away. We need a bus stop that can serve all of this small little industry. That should be good. Road connection, yes. Put one there. Put one here. This can all be gravel when we get to it. This can be just a normal road connection. There we go. I thought earlier it was just working, so it's working now. I do want this rail to go through here. If there is an angle that this will play ball. I saw it. I don't need anything fancy here. It's more like a siding. It's not a real rail connection, but that will go there. The road here is all being connected. I need to figure out what to do with these guys. Do we have... Yeah, there are at least 2 excavators available. So let's make this work. Because rail will be the only way we can be efficient at producing what we want to export later on. I'm talking about iron ore. You cannot... Well, actually even just iron. I don't think you want to import that just by truck. That'll be a very, 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 very painfully slow process. All right, how should we do this? What's an intelligent way to do this? I think this will require thinking. And that is just code for me saying, you will see it next episode. We need more planning. This will probably be a pretty busy junction because it's also part of the main line. I did say I don't want stops on the main line, so I need to figure out a way to get the rail past this section, but also allow for stops on this section. There are 2 stops opposite sides, so this... Yeah, you can't do that anytime. You can't do that fast. We will figure it out next time. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.